both in terms of sector and in terms of geographically. What do you see as the big growth areas? What is it that you're really focusing on in terms of where you want to be, Frank?
IPTV is certainly the coming thing in the telco world. And there are certain hotspots around the world where we're focusing. Europe is one in particular. The U.S. is still struggling, I would say, a little bit in the development of IPTV. Of course, Verizon is the big name there, although it's not literally IPTV. They're still delivering, as a cable company would, an RF signal. But Europe is certainly hot. Typically in South America, we find that there's a lot of regulation still blocking the introduction of video services in those countries. So they're still working through the legal issues to provide that. So we see that as something that's up and coming, but not here yet.
Patrick?
Because we sort of involved with the final installation process, there are obviously different markets for different products. So terrestrial, we have a big changeover right across Europe. We know it's going to come in Australia, New Zealand, South America, and also South Africa. On cable, we have a big digitalization going to take place in Eastern Europe, India, China, and to a lesser extent, Latin or South America. Satellite, we have ongoing business on new technology, i.e. DVB-S2, which is Europe and Australia and America. And then obviously emerging markets. There is a fantastic growth in new DTH operators. We supply to 5 DTH operators in India. We're hoping to get the first one in Brazil. And there's a phenomenal growth area.
Plenty of scope.
Yes, definitely.
Darren?
For us, some of the key areas is Ethernet, actually. So it's particularly in EMEA, in Europe region. So the demand for Ethernet is, sort of being driven by the need for bandwidth. Bandwidth for sort of mobile backhaul applications. Okay, so the growth in wireless, which is another big one, is driving this sort of change within the network to be able to handle the data and the voice that's going to be broadcast wirelessly. So these are sort of one of the big areas that we see growth in.
Minesh, hotspots?
Well, certainly. I mean, we talked about DVB-T2 here we have in the UK, but it will be rolled out, no doubt, as soon as the rest of Europe has completed the T2 will be hot on its foot. Similarly, for cable, we're moving to DVB-C2. It's literally just on the cusp, and people will be talking about it over the next year or two, and equipment will be needed for the developers, for the set-top box testing areas. So each of these areas I can see is fueling the growth for our products. And the beauty of it, the way we've constructed, I feel, is the move from T to T2 should mean using the same hardware that we already have. So I hope it helps those cost of set-top box to be kept as low as possible so customers buy them. So the whole process should hopefully be a lot more smoother.
Rob?
Never is.
Well, we see growth in a couple different areas. Our focus to date has been at the traditional cable companies, cable operators in North America. So within that area, we see growth coming from pushing further out into the network, and so having more touch points monitoring, but also going deeper into the video itself. We already do full decode of the audio. We do almost complete decode of the video. And we want to do more. We want to be able to get in and actually identify such things as blurriness, start to get somewhere we can identify lip sync, those type of things. We see that as big growth areas for us. And also just from the maturation of the monitoring market, we still see a lot of growth there. And then definitely IPTV. We really have not really delved into the IPTV market. And so we see big growth in IPTV. That's why we're putting more effort into Europe. Also Latin America and Asia.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Fascinating discussion. Please do join us again on the Advanced Television Academy television channel. Thank you.